queuing. Had that cue ball just come off the baulk cushion by an inch or two, he'd have been in business potentially.
Oh, good return safety from O'Sullivan.
An area where he's been below his best today, currently at 76.9% success. Carter in the 90s, which is outstanding. He's always been a terrific tactical player, Carter. Just a very tough all-round match player, full stop. 2 hours of action, frame 6 of a possible 11. Still potentially a very long way to go in this match. Carter will have been very satisfied with his pre-interval work, but mindful at the same time that he still had a lot to do to turn it into a match-winning opportunity.
Well, again, he's pushed one over both pockets. So he's in O'Sullivan's hands here. Black not available at the moment. Well, he could play for the pink to the right centre, but risky to play that because he'd have to play it with a lot of drag on the cue ball to hold for it. So may play down for the blue.
One.
Oh, that was an excellent kiss. Little rubs just favouring O'Sullivan again at the moment.
Seven.
Well, taking the more difficult red to try and clear that black area.
8.
Definitely encouraging signs, though, for O'Sullivan fans since the interval. Up the ante as he had to do. He was going nowhere, really.
He looks more focused to me as well. Started that long screw shot in the last frame.
13.
He's lost the cue ball there, though. Didn't really want to take this red. It was the other red to the left corner he was playing for.
14.
Had a bad little shot, left-handed. No, that's terrible. Disappointed with that one.
14. Adi Carter 5.
But it was a couple of shots previously. He played for the red into the left corner, had to play the one to the right corner, and it was difficult to get the right side of the blue from that red. And that was the start of the problems. If he plays the red that's nearest the black cushion, that frees the black. It's him to see what he's going to play here. That would be an attacking shot to play. Well, I can't believe he didn't play that shot. Free the black, get that cue ball in behind the brown and yellow. It's an attacking shot. Still an attacking shot that he played, had he got it. More risk.
So O'Sullivan with an immediate chance to put the disappointment of cannoning into the brown just now out of his mind.
1.
Potentially engineer a chance to level this match.
Well, he got a lot of side on the cue ball there. Too much, really. He was playing the other side of the blue, but he can take the blue or the black here.
Six.
Thing that cannot be doubted this week is O'Sullivan's desire.
7.
That is what he was playing the last time round. Just got too much side in it. Good position on the blue to play anywhere. Illustrator. That's an excellent red to play for. Now the black goes into both pockets. What a thinker. Oh, he's overhit it and be disappointed again with that.
20.
It's overhit that by a long way.
The fact that he was on the stretch contributed to that a little. This needs some potting. There's pressure on this one. Digging down on the white, difficult pot.
21.
Oh, what a shot. It wasn't just the pot. He was playing the cannon as well, which he negotiated absolutely beautifully. That was a terrific pot, that.
Yeah, this is a different O'Sullivan now. Not quite firing on all cylinders, the rocket, but
29.
Just have a look at this shot if we can find it again, because it was such a good shot.
It's definitely beginning to show what he's capable of.
Potted the black last time round, but look at the cannon that he got.
21.
Look at this cannon. Just got it to perfection.
37.
As you say, Philip, he looks a different man, doesn't he?
Yeah, that average shot time is dropping significantly now as he gets into a rhythm.
44.
Looking at the scoreboard.
45.
Black and Carter can only tie.
This is what O'Sullivan can do in a very short space of time. He can change
52.
the entire feel, the entire dynamic
53.
of a match with a couple of big breaks made in intimidatingly quick fashion.
Well, there's nothing he can do about this, that's for sure.
60. 61.
Minus 78 in the last frame. Trying to develop that red to make a century in this one.
$66.
Oh, can he get the double?
Ronnie O'Sullivan 66 on the front.
Well, the century would have been nice, but O'Sullivan will make do with 66. He has found a couple of extra gears since the interval, and it's right back in the balance at 3-all. Engrossing stuff here at the Marshall Arena in our first Northern Ireland Open. Semi-final with Ronnie O'Sullivan fighting back 78 and 66 since he fell 3-1 behind. He's still down at 84%, which is indicative of how he struggled really before the interval. And remember, the one frame he did win in the first four just looked a lot more engaged
Frame 7.
and with it,
Ronnie
frankly, in
O'Sullivan's
this
break.
second part of the match. And now all to play for all. It's a best of 5 frame match from here. Carter's turn to try and respond.
Yes, and that's a good response.
One.
Excellent pot. And again, he's a little unfortunate losing the cue ball, just going into balk. He knocked in the beauty. I don't know if it was the last frame or the frame before. Just run a little too close to the brown.
Lee Carter 1.
Knows that he shouldn't leave anything on here. Sullivan. So that good pot. Just got him 1 point.
Yeah, it's happened a few times for Carter today. He's knocked in a good long one, but just failed to get the desired position on a baulk colour to continue the break.
But it'll feel good knocking the red in.
Pretty good from long range today, 6 out of 10. It's decent.
That was a very good pot, wasn't it? And it was awkward cue in there, and he's got a very good safety.
Yeah, thanks.
Looks like it could be similar type of shot to what he's just played. So important not to get too much side on the cue ball. Slip past the reds, he'd leave a red on. He left a red on. He has not. Great return. Great return. It's a possibility. Could also come off the right-hand side cushion. He's looking at the 2-cushion escape, but I don't think there's any need to play that shot. No, just playing into the pack of reds. I thought it was a little bit more dangerous to play that shot. Had he caught the red,
Touching ball.
got nearest to there. Touching ball, both reds is called. Doesn't want the full ball kiss. Very dangerous to take this red on. Looks like he's playing it. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball, and that made the pot so much more difficult. But he managed to avoid the reds, and that's the main thing.
Yes, O'Sullivan has upped the ante the other side of the interval, and now it's down to Carter to try and do likewise.
Well, one thing that's changed, Philip, is that O'Sullivan's not missing like he was in the earlier frames, which was giving Carter chances.
Yes, he looks altogether more sharp now, doesn't he, than he did early on.
He's in a bit of trouble here, though.
Before he arrived at the Crucible in the summer, this was a tournament, of course, that he made his only ranking final in last season. It was a pretty modest season, actually. He won the Invitational Shanghai Masters, beating Murphy in a cracking final 11-9, but that aside, it was relatively slim pickings. Until, of course, he reminded us what a great player he is at the World Championship. But today he's had to really grind it out to get back into contention, but he's been happy to do that this week when required. His match with Elliot Slesser, who of course had beaten him in their two previous meetings handsomely, dug in there for the win.
He's in a bit of trouble there, O'Sullivan, but he thought his way out of it.
O'Sullivan was missing earlier, Joe. That's something that Carter's been very good at not doing today. Yes, he's broken down a few times, he's lost position and has needed multiple chances to see off frames, but he's only missed 7 balls all match. 93%. Very good.
Yeah, good point. Hasn't been making a lot of big breaks. This is a mistake from O'Sullivan. He needs a bit of luck here. He's got a fantastic cue ball, but has he covered that red nearest the right corner? The answer's no. You can pot the red tight under the cushion, so it's not a gimme.
One.
Yeah, it could have gone anywhere. Just potted it a little thick. If you just look at this, if he catches it thin, he misses those reds. Looks like just a safety, but he did force the mistake.
Green. Green. Play Carter 1.
Important little duel here with the reds looking pretty inviting for whoever gets in.
Well, he's certainly giving it his all, Ali Carter. The red behind the black, if he can catch it thin enough. And that looks pretty good to me. Well, they both played some fantastic safety. think he's trying to leave the cue ball down by the black cushion. Yeah, and he didn't get that cue ball close enough to the cushion. Now, will O'Sullivan take one of these reds on? Not easy, any of these reds. And there's one to the middle also. All difficult. It's easy there, doesn't it? Somehow got to get to the blue. Great pot. Terrific pot.
One.
And I'm saying he's trying to get to the blue. That was a much better ball to play for because he wasn't leaving anything had he missed it. But to stun through the reds there, just missing them all, it's an excellent shot. As I say, he took the pressure off himself by playing down there for the brown. He's in again.
5.
Ideally yet.
He's got a different look about him now, O'Sullivan. The old swagger has returned since the interval.
Six.
Well, even pinched a little on the pocket there to get good position on the black.
And Ali Carter, even though only 15 points have been scored in this frame, will be fearing the worst already.
13.
Sure, you're right, Philip.
$14.
Very rare that Ronnie asks for the cue ball to be cleaned. Want to kick at this stage of the game, though.
Yeah, not that having the cue ball cleaned is any guarantee that you won't get a kick. I guess it must help a bit, or at least it does in the mind of the player.
Well, they're both using different kinds of chalk, so don't blame him.
Sullivan is more a traditionalist when it comes to
21.
chalk. He uses the old-fashioned stuff. I recall in one match he actually tried 2 different types of chalk in the same match.
22.
He's using the new chalk at the moment, though. He was talking about it, and yeah, he's using the red chalk. I think he said it was from Belgium. There you go. You can see it
29.
there. It's blue.
I was going to say, doesn't look very red.
30.
But when we get a chance to look at Ali Carter's, you'll see that he's using the traditional triangle green.
Noticeable that since the interval, Sullivan is no longer fretting about his tip either. He just
35.
looks in a different frame of mind now. He's beginning to fancy the job.
36.
You know what a great front runner he is, and we'd certainly fancy him to get in front here for the first time.
$43.
Typical example there that he could have played the cannon, but when you don't have
44.
to, why play it? All the reds will go. Ding. Yesterday when he was playing, he was 2-0 up, he was flying, full of confidence. But he played a black and went into the reds, and I didn't think it was the right shot to play. There was plenty of shots that plenty of reds that he could have played for, but he decided to go into them, and unfortunately he didn't land on one.
48.
Another very good positional shot. Sullivan.
49.
Just a delight to watch him play. He's got his
54.
confidence and flying.
$55.
Carter scored just 14 points since he led 3-1.
He can only tie now, so this easy red.
61.
And they've taken 3 frames on the bounce in style. And with class.
And playing now at his usual brisk pace. He needed to change the pattern of the match, and he's done just that.
69.
Quick fire frames from O'Sullivan, but
70.
looking at his brilliant best in amongst them as per usual. His long potting has improved, so he's creating chances for himself now. Now it's Carter that's got to come up with the answers.
78.
More than capable.
Yeah, he played some very good safety shots in this frame. Ali Carter
85.
knocked in a couple of great reds, but
86.
unfortunately didn't land on the colour.
It was a terrific red, wasn't it, from O'Sullivan, playing down for the brown. Set up this chance.
93.
Very missable red under pressure.
Yeah, I did say at the time, though, that he didn't get that cue ball close enough to the black cushion, Ali.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 93.
Cost him.
Misses the yellow, so no century. But Ali Carter is now under the cosh. Having bossed the early stages of this match, he's lost 3 on the bounce pretty quickly. O'Sullivan leads 4-3. Three quick-fire frames from Ronnie O'Sullivan in 3/4 of an hour. Breaks of 78, 66 and 93 have given this match a very different feel. He's in front for the first time. 3-1 behind at the interval. He's found his mojo. Carter now has to try and respond. O'Sullivan within 2 frames of his 3rd consecutive Northern Ireland Open
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
final.
93.
His 14th win in 15 attempts
The 8th
over the
frame.
captain.
Ali Carter to break.
Does Carter respond?
Well, not the best break-off from Ali Carter. Catching the reds much too thick. He nearly hit the jaws of the middle pocket.
He's had very little table time since the interval. I mentioned he scored just 14 points in those 3 frames.
It's the poorest shot I've seen him play.
1.
He has competed, and as I say, in the last frame he knocked in 2 terrific reds, but didn't finish on a colour either time. Had to play the safety.
And just what he didn't need. O'Sullivan straight back in, fresh from that break of 93.
Coming down for that red by the black straight away.
3.
And with being just a fraction closer.
Sullivan's pot success climbing all the time, getting up towards 87 now. From the high 70s at one stage.
11.
I've been informed by my good friend Colin Phillips that it's Taian Pyro chalk that Ronnie's using, and it's from Finland.
12.
Don't all rush out to buy it at once. Need some more for the final if he gets there. Now deliberately left the cue ball short on this red so he
90.
could open more reds up.
20.
Managed to knock out another 2, possibly 3.
He's flying around the table
27.
now. It's a very different looking O'Sullivan, isn't it?
It's amazing what a bit of confidence does, isn't it?
28.
It really is, because he was lacking in it so much before the interval. I don't know what he did in the interval, but whatever it was, he wants to keep that in his armoury. Again, deliberately left this angle on this red
33.
so he could open the reds up in potting it. He's got to be careful of the in-off in the middle if he plays it at strength.
34.
And he was aware of it, that's why he didn't play it with screw. He's nudged more out.
34. 40. 41.
Nice little gap there in the reds to go into. Miss the red directly above the black or catch it really thin. And look at that. It's worth another look at that shot because he plays it so well. He misses the red directly above the black, and then with the whiz on the cue ball it comes through the reds
49.
and develops them all. And they're all there for the taking.
Hasn't found just an extra gear since the interval. He's found several. This is pretty intimidating stuff now from O'Sullivan.
56.
Got to keep it going though. Sorry, Philip.
Helpless in his chair.
57.
Nothing you can do from there, Joe.
No, he's got to rely on Ronnie missing an easy one or a kick or something, but you just can't see him missing. He's just focused. So focused.
It was a poor break off though, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
64.
And it looks like it's going to cost him dearly. Full stretch, left-handed. Needs another red in the colour.
Taking any liberties with this red, and for obvious reasons. He's that close to winning his 4th straight frame here. Under an hour.
65.
This has been a magnificent break.
$72.
How quickly he can turn a precarious
73.
position into one of strength. Just remind you of how he got in for this. Carter took a while before breaking off, as though he was
80.
psyching himself up for it, conscious of the need to make a good one, but he didn't.
81. $88. $89. $95. $96.
Superb. Absolutely
102.
superb.
17 years of age when he defeated Hendry for his
Ronnie
first ranking
O'Sullivan
title at the
2 on the
UK
frame.
Championship in 1993. He turns 45 in a couple of weeks, and he's still producing snooker like that. Pure magic. The rocket has begun to fire, and then some. 5-3 up. Ali Khan lovingly tending to his cue. We mentioned earlier that he's had some adjustments made to it, and he's rather fond of linseed oil. And that's what he's sniffing. As far as I'm aware, that's not on the banned list, but whether it's performance enhancing or not, I'm not sure. He could do with a bit of performance enhancement right now, because he's been blown off the table in the last 4 frames by a rejuvenated Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's begun to flow as only he can, and he's 1 frame away from another Northern Ireland Open final. 5-3, 2 up with 3 to play.
Yes, only had 1 shot in the last frame. Ali Carter. Was a good one. And he paid the ultimate price.
14 points scored since the interval for Carter, who of course led 3-1. Barely had a look in since. 1 or 2 good long pots which led to nothing positionally. Apart from that, he's been warming his seat. How impressive has O'Sullivan been since the interval? Different player. But the job's not done yet. Carter knows how to dig deep with the very best of them. He will fight for every ball.
Well, one thing he doesn't want to do is open those reds up. I don't think he's got any choice. There they are. They're open. And that, well, was it okay, that kiss? Well, that's it left. Judging by his face, he's left it on. Still not easy, full length of the table. Pot, but he couldn't control the cue ball. Possibly the green. He's looking at the green, but The red that's to the left of the black, if he catches it full in base, then he leaves a chance at that red. So that's why he's playing the brown.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Nicely played. And again, well thought out.
Yes, he's been pin sharp in the second half of this match. Conscious of the need to find something extra in his game, and he certainly has delivered.
Carter just looking at a possible 3-ball plant. Another half chance here. Long potting has improved.
Yes, I think it was 4 out of 12 before the interval. Since then it's been 5 out of 8, much more like it. The whole game has been raised significantly. Up against it now. Carter, of course, he knows one more error could be fatal.
Yeah, and another day could have been tight in behind the brown. It is half a chance of getting that cue ball back there on the shot. Just aware of red knocking something over this right corner. Target, the brown and the green. Too thin. It's okay. Anywhere over the right side of the table is going to create problems. But he's looking at the pot. Wow, what a beauty. Great shot from Ali Carter. Terrific pot, and that cue ball again just run on a little too far for comfort for the green. Brown's much more difficult pot.
He's actually still leading Carter in most of the stats. Pot success 93, very good. Still only missed 7 balls all match. Long pot success 2 out of 3. Safety success is still better than O'Sullivan's. It's only in the total points where O'Sullivan's motoring in the last 4 frames has overtaken him. Again, having to settle for 1 point off a very good opening red.
I think it was time there to open your shoulders and try and get yourself back in the game. He hasn't played a particularly good safety. Sullivan can see this red behind the black spot. Oh, he's got himself another chance by playing a safety. Catching that red much too thick. It's a matter of whether he can avoid that red that's closest to the black cushion. Attempting the pot.
On break of any significance today for Carter, the 71 in the very first frame.
Yeah, good pot.
1.
Oh, surely not. He was on the pink to the middle. Still on, well, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he is. So it's a thin cut on the black. Blue. It looks like it goes there, but he's right behind the shot. Not even looking at it again, so there's no doubt that the pink doesn't go. A lot of pressure on this though. Another good pot, and this time he is on another red.
8. 9.
Barely had a sniff since he led 3-1. Point of no return for Carter. Created this chance for himself.
16.
Plenty of work to do with quite a few reds far from ideal at the moment.
Seventeen. 23. 24.
'Just a little shorter pace, but it should be okay. Again,
29.
shorter pace.
Thirty. 35.
Well, once again, just a little shorter pace, and again there's pressure on this one.
36.
Nicely played, and now in prime position.
$41.
Far so good in Carter's bid to stop the rot. O'Sullivan with a 4-frame burst in well under
42.
an hour.
Just waiting, ready to pounce. Can he get the cannon to those 3 reds near the right corner? Answer. He's on them.
47.
It's ideally on this red, but he might just be able to come out for the pink or blue, stunning off the other red.
$48.
Decided to play a double kiss. It looked easier to screw onto the red half ball, send the cue ball down the table. So it's not over yet, this frame. Although it's a tough table at the moment. A few shots it may not be, so maybe time to put something safe.
Carter,
Well,
48.
I think I'd have favoured a ball safe rather than the 7 points.
So Carter falls just short of his second half century of the afternoon, but at least he has a strong foothold in this frame that he needs to keep his hopes of a final place alive. Sullivan's 4-frame burst for the time being arrested. Just a reminder that tonight, semi-final 2, defending champion Judd Trump against David Grace, the world number 67. Our coverage gets underway at 6:45. Trump, of course, chasing his 3rd consecutive Northern Ireland Open title. Will he be facing O'Sullivan for the 3rd time in a row?
He might be tempted here. Sat there waiting for him. Good pot.
1.
It's an area of O'Sullivan's game which has improved markedly since the first 4 frames.
1.
Could have done with just missing that black though. Well, he played the pink, so he could get the angle on the red to be able to disturb those reds. And if this works out, Ali Carter may wish he'd have well put a ball safe rather than trying to get 7 points for the black. Well, they're all developed bar one. worth another look at that shot, because he played the red on the cushion to hit the other reds as well.
15.
The big target was the 2 reds, but he played the red
8.
onto the other reds, and it couldn't have worked out any better. Well, I suppose it could. The other red could have come off the cushion.
16.
And that's potentially Carter's last saviour here. Anything else in the open?
Oh, well, now Carter
22.
will wish he'd have put something safe.
This really would be the icing on the cake if O'Sullivan could clear up here for victory.
23.
A couple of sublime shots to release the awkward reds.
Well, when he came to the table, Philip, well, you wouldn't have said that as a clearance on, would you?
No, that's how quickly truly great players can change
26.
the shape of a frame, of which O'Sullivan is undoubtedly one, perhaps the greatest.
27.
Well, nobody can play the game like this man when he's on form.
Carter, as always, has given it everything today. But potentially for the 14th
32.
time in 15 attempts could prove to be in vain. This match and this frame now at the mercy of O'Sullivan.
34.
The only awkward ball is the brown. Being left-handed would help him.
37.
Just overscrewed that one. Not straight enough on the brown. It's going to be difficult to get to the blue.
Like Grimace O'Sullivan.
41.
So, one good pot. That's all it's going to take to put him into the final. One good pot.
Oh.
Clean as a whistle. It's a different man.
Yeah, this has been magnificent stuff from O'Sullivan since falling 3-1 behind.
52.
Carter powerless to do anything about it.
59 frame in the match, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
From the subdued to the sublime, Ronnie O'Sullivan, for the 3rd time in 3 seasons, reaches the Northern Ireland Open final. He has defeated Ali Carter by 6 frames to 3.